Block Entertainment. I see you, Block. Boys in the Hood. I like this right here. You ready? Come on.
Hey,
Let's ride.
hey.
It's Boys in the Hood, niggas. As we proceed
Give you what you
to
need.
give y'all what y'all need.
It's the boys in the hood
Feel
selling
ready
anything
to pop
private.
it.
5 in the morning on the corner clocking.
Black. Classic.
Welcome. You like that? You like that? First and foremost, man, happy birthday to my brother, man. It's late, we done pod when we were supposed to. Just want you to know I appreciate you, man. Happy birthday, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
A lot of great men never got to see 35. So, I'm thankful, man. Very thankful.
That's what's up, brother. I know why I thought you were turning 34. I was like, he's a year under us, isn't he?
No, I got held back when I was in Africa.
It makes sense. So you turned 35 before me, man. Damn.
Yeah, because remember, that was the thing. You and Dane is like the babies of y'all. I'm like the old for mine. Y'all like the
Yeah.
baby for y'all grade. That's why I work like that.
Oh, good, man. Happy to hear you celebrate it, man. How you bringing it in?
Well, today is Eid, last day of Ramadan, so I haven't had any alcohol since like March something. So, because that is another thing. If you've had alcohol at all, you can't go to mosque for 30 days.
Oh, wow.
So, I at least did that the whole time. I'm fasting today. And then whatever happens, happens. I'm sure one shot in, I'll be a fucking clown. So it should be fun.
Well deserved.
Yeah, man.
Just be safe, brother.
Oh yeah, I got Uber money. I already had stuff ready because I figured today was gonna be one of them days. And it's 420, so you already know the vibe, bro.
I understand.
You already know. So
Well, let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about the Draymond and Sabonis.
oh man, I know you excited.
I'm a little bit, we've been texting about this nonstop.
Yeah.
Here he is right now, joining
Set the
us.
chat on fire, bro. Chat been on fire.
Yeah,
Oh
we've
boy.
been going back and forth with this nonstop. So what's going on?
Wifey's stuck at work, so to take the damn baby out to the park.
Not the damn baby. Bro.
But I got a new. I don't know how. I don't have the background on here. Nothing.
It's okay. It's all right, man.
Nah, you good? You good, bro?
Are you sure you want me to stay on? I got background noises, crackheads, Dominicans riding up with bikes and shit.
Hey, this is raw and authentic. It's all good, brother.
Yeah, it's fine. Unedited.
Good. We just gonna leave it like that. Okay, I see the setup now. I like how it looks. So we were just about to talk about Draymond and Sabonis. So you showed up right on time. I'd like to start the segment off. I'm wearing the Phi Beta Sigma shirt. When I crossed, one of our songs was, I was walking through the jungle, standing tall, when I heard that a Sigma was about to fall. So I backslapped the Kappa, kicked the Q, stomped on an Alpha, and I walked on through. The road is hard, searching for Phi Beta. The road is hard to Sigma land. So I'm going to stomp on through just like Draymond stomped on through. You know what I'm saying?
Blue balls, they can't stand us. They can't stand us, man.
My point being, a man grabbed my leg. It was excessive. He deserved to be thrown out the game. It was a flagrant foul. But I would be a hypocrite if I sat here and told you I wouldn't have done the same thing. So I'll just leave it at that. I can get into some more points. I'll give the two of you the floor to speak.
Go ahead, Dane.
So I'm sure you would have done the same thing, which is kind of the whole point to my thing of this. Draymond is a professional athlete. You're not. And as a professional in the playoffs, if I had a teammate, if Drew and I were in the playoffs and someone slapped his dick and then Drew punched him and Drew was out for a game, Drew failed himself, us, the fans, and that organization. As a professional, it's part of his duty to be physical, play basketball, but also to maintain his mental fortitude. And that's my kind of slight on Draymond. He's a child in terms of emotional intelligence. Great physical specimen, but has no emotional control. And it shows once again.
No, go ahead, Drew.
We've been going back and forth with this all week. You know, you a Warriors fan, I'm a Kings fan, so I'm trying to be as objective and unbiased as possible. I grew up watching the Bad Boy Pistons, so trust me, I love a good physical altercation. But I do think that in this NBA climate and just how stuff is going in, like we all know, the Ja Morant types, like, basketball it's a finesse sport. You know what I'm saying? It's not about all that rah-rah, but I enjoy it. On that play, Sabonis got hit, you know what I'm saying, fell to the ground. His story is that he was covering up. It is what it is. I've watched the first two games. It's been a physical series all year round. There was at least twice Kevin Huerter had Steph Curry in the ball-faced chicken wing. But I still think that just once it gets to that, he got teched up. Dude stomped him. It's not even the fact that he struck the man. Like Adam Silver's there. He's at the game. And you are a notorious offender in this line of work. And like he's growling at the crowd, he's making gestures at the crowd, getting into it with the crowd, and it's just like that kind of energy. He set a precedent, bro, and it's just kind of what happened. I do think that the suspension's a little excessive, but as a Kings fan, because they kicked him out of the first game. It wasn't like last minute. There was 7 minutes left in the game. I heard that was a deciding factor. The fact that they just felt like 7 minutes wasn't enough time, so they wanted to give him a full game. I do kind of think that it was excessive, especially 7 minutes up in a 4-point game. I felt like that was enough, but I can understand why they did it. And as a Kings fan, like that beam, baby, it's gonna be 3-0. I'm ready.
And I'm glad you said that. It's gonna be 3-0. So let me play just a little bit of this video clip I sent y'all. So we can discuss a little bit further. Give us some
I'm gonna have to
context.
go up here on Fox and talk about the NBA. I'm disappointed.
So he's disappointed. Slick, where do you stand?
I'm disappointed with you. 100%.
Smart man. Toast. He toast. Is anything in that cup?
Harmony.
Is anything in
You
that
don't leave him
cup?
hanging. He's trying to toast you, Slick.
Bang.
God, dog.
I'm working here. Besides, you said I was late.
Why are you disappointed, Slick?
Look, the league has essentially handed this series to the Sacramento Kings. Now, when I look at that incident and I look at everything involved in it with the role that Domantas Sabonis played in it, can I justify that this series should be over as a result of that play? They already conceded game 2 because of that by kicking Draymond Green out. But to add another game, understanding what Draymond Green means, if nobody should be happy with this, including the Sacramento Kings, because this is a lot like 2016. We always question, well, did the Cleveland Cavaliers actually come back from 3-1 because Draymond Green was suspended for game 5? If I'm the Sacramento Kings and I think I'm better than the Golden State Warriors, then I don't want anything that's going to put an asterisk on it. And this certainly does.
I need a quick 20-second timeout because, Slick, the game, as we all know, Joy knows it, Dave knows it, we all know it, the game's not just physical. The game is mental. Sacramento Kings head coach is Mike Brown, who knows Draymond Green all too well.
Sure.
If Draymond Green, a part of his game is to get under the skin of opponents, if a part of Draymond Green's game is to get opponents out of their game, then the Sacramento Kings quite literally got Draymond Green out of the game. So I think the Sacramento Kings are not only beating the Warriors physically, and I'm a Warriors fan, I think they're currently beating the Warriors mentally, which is the worst way to beat them down. I think the Kings should be ecstatic. I will get to how I feel about the punishment shortly, though.
So then you are saying that this wasn't Draymond Green doing something. This was something the Sacramento Kings did to Draymond Green that got him to react.
Agree, yes.
You think that's fair? You think that's right?
Joy, what you say about fair?
Well, there's nothing that's fair, but I would argue that this isn't
Yeah,
mental.
I'm glad you stopped it right there.
Sabonis didn't
Hold on, real quick.
mentally do
I want her to
something
make a
get
point, then we can
technical.
talk.
He physically grabbed Draymond's ankle
I'm dirty.
and got a technical. Keep in mind,
Way to pick me up, Joy.
thank you, he was given a technical. The action warranted a technical foul by Sabonis. So he wasn't just laying there on the ground, and here comes Draymond doing some Kirk Franklin stomp on his chest. That's not what happens. We can see the video. We can show it again. We've seen it 100 times at this point.
And we can stop right there for now. I'll just say this. To your point, Dane, he is a professional. He should be smarter. The only point I'm making is both of them did dirty plays. Both of them acted unprofessionally. Whether or not Sabonis succeeded in getting Draymond out the game, it was still a very unprofessional thing. And he didn't get thrown to the floor, Drew. He was actually trying to pull Clay to the floor and fell, because it was him and Clay that was being boxed out in that play. But with all that said, my point is it should have been decided in that game. And the referees decided to give Sabonis a technical and to give Draymond a flagrant 2 and take him out the game. At the moment when that happened, the Warriors were down 4 points. It could argue that decided the fate of that game. But you guys won fair and square. I'm not going to go back on when it happened, when you're like, Bola, what happened to in 5? Did I argue anything? I said, hey, man, y'all did y'all thing. There was no argument for me then. I just think when the NBA steps in the way they did and they want to go back to the history of what he is, and that's why they're giving him this suspension, it's just ridiculous, man. Because essentially, you're not punishing Sabonis any further for instigating or insinuating what happened.
Well, what about his actions after it happened? As if he's above the league, as if he has the right to growl at fans and all that extra shit.
That would be different. See, he's in a competitive arena. Those fans are barking at him. I think the NBA took it too personal, like he was showboating the referees. Those players, the fans are yelling, screaming profanity, and that's just Draymond's personality. This is the same person every single game. He's never changed his behavior. So you can't then turn around.
They're not going to change the punishments.
You can't turn around and punish him for who he is because he's loud and demonstrative while you're evaluating the tape.
I don't even think it's demonstrative, bro. You can't sit up here and act like the last 5 seasons it hasn't been the same 4 people: Draymond, Dylan Brooks, Pat Bev, and Grayson Allen. Like, it's been, though, like, there are guys who play a certain way.
I get you, but the difference between everybody else that you listed, when our guy plays like that, it gets us championships. So obviously I'm going to be partial to that. Without Draymond Green, the Golden State Warriors do not win.
Without Kevin Durant. Without Kevin Durant.
Without Draymond Green.
Without Andre Iguodala.
Look, we're all football fans here, and why I'm gonna put the one thing I want to put in honor of the Sigmas, a blue cap on, is the argument that Sabonis did something dirty first. As a football fan, that every Sunday we see, the person who reacts gets the penalty. So you're trained mentally, don't react. And the person who does the instigating never gets a flag and rarely gets fined. The person who gets gets in trouble. That's the way professional sports works.
Yes, that's how professionals are trained. But the person who made the call to suspend Draymond was not a professional. He's the what's his title again? I can't think of his name. He's the commissioner. He's not a professional. So he has to look at it from a broad spectrum to look at what really happened. What was the cause and effect of the action that took place on the court? He can't just say, well, I'm going to ignore the fact that this man grabbed his ankle I'm going to hold Draymond 100% accountable for what happened in this situation, and he gets suspended. That's unfair. If you're going to hold one party culpable, you got to hold both. Now, if you had come out and say, you know what, Draymond, you get 2 games. Sabonis, you get 1. Okay?
That was my point. Is that
I could understand, but Sabonis got nothing.
If we're looking at the NFL, when these people react, yeah, the person who instigated, they don't get the same level of suspension, especially, like, yeah, they're both dirty, but Draymond's was dirtier, period. He stopped versus a slight ankle
There's
grab.
no level of dirtiness. You can't say one was dirtier than the other.
If you spit on me and then I took my helmet and knocked you unconscious or knocked your teeth out, mine was more dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, but if he twisted the ankle and hurt Draymond, would it have been more dirtier then because of the outcome? You're rating it on levels of dirtiness.
Yeah, they would have been more equal if he physically twisted his ankle, but he didn't.
The idea that he stopped the man from running because he wanted to grab his ankle is dirty. Period.
This is a losing argument. Draymond's was more dirty.
It was not.
I mean, it's clear as day, and the world can see. Stomping in someone's chest.
I showed you 3 different videos that agree with my viewpoint. You sent me 1. So it's not clear as day. This is a hot topic on almost every debate show. It's not clear as day that one was dirtier than the other. That's your perspective.
Okay.
You don't even think Sabonis did anything wrong.
I do think he did something wrong, but what I was telling you earlier, which I think was misconstrued into something where I don't think he did something wrong on supporting white flight and all this shit, is that I was telling you, I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, in retrospect, it was this good play because Draymond's out, period, and he's not.
It's not a good play if it's a dirty play, right?
It is a good play because Draymond's out. Objectively, that was a good play. When you look at
it a dirty play
numbers, yes.
Okay, I got 2 examples. Okay,
go ahead, bro.
Both are football. Well, first and foremost, I've played almost every sport at a competitive level. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it don't matter if you teaching little AAU kids, you know what I'm saying, middle schoolers, high schoolers, professionals. It's always don't react. It's just a game, right? Now, you brought up a lot about, if this would have been, if was a fifth, I'd be drunk on Eid, but we're not. And it's like, okay, so I got 2. Super Bowl 55. Whenever, actually, that might be the only instance where the instigator didn't. But Tom Brady, when he was barking at Honey Badger in the Super Bowl, Honey Badger got the unsportsmanlike conduct. Tom Brady didn't. Another example, Mason Rudolph, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett said he called him the N-word. So he then snatched his helmet off of him and tried to beat him with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you work at your job, bro. And, like, you know what we've been through. But if somebody dropped an N-bomb, you can't just pick up a chair and bola stomp them. You know what I'm saying? You got to go report it to HR. You got to go, you know what I'm saying? You can't fuck up your shit and your composure because somebody else did something.
If I may, Drew, I feel like we're responding hindsight, what we would have done in that situation. You're in the middle of the game. You're running back and forth on the court. Yes, he thought about it before he stomped him, but he also responded in real time. Like, there's been times I used to work with you at UPS. There's been times where I've lost my cool. And I'll go back and I'll think about it like, damn, I shouldn't have responded that way. But in the heat of the moment, I was hot. And I said some things that I shouldn't have. Now, did I pick up a chair and hit anybody? No. But I still was very boisterous. And I explained myself and probably ended up costing me my job there. But that's neither here nor there. My point is, in moments like that, it's hard to be like, well, you need to be a professional and don't let him push you. Even though he's twisting your ankle, be the bigger man and just run away. Just drag your leg away from there and keep running down the court.
That is something he could have did other than stomping.
But he didn't. And I'm not arguing that he's justified in stomping. I'm just saying I would have done the same thing, so I'm not going to judge him. I get that it's not the professional thing to do. I get that it's a dirty play. I'm just saying, just as much as we're holding Draymond culpable, Sabonis deserves the same treatment.
Sabonis.
That's it.
When Draymond Green was fined $30,000 for kicking somebody in the nuts or whatever he did last season, he was in the post game talking about, I make $25 million a year. I'll be all right. So he's already disregarded the league. Like, he don't care. Like, this is how, you know what I'm saying?
That is true. You're factual, but it wasn't for kicking somebody.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Whatever he might have done.
But I get what you're saying.
Fines don't work. This is one of the 4 horsemen of dirty plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're like,
well, I did some research. There's another wrinkle to this story, Bo, I would love to get your professional reaction to. So Draymond has partially, I've heard, signed a deal with TNT. Have you guys heard this?
Yeah, this is not news. Yeah.
So there's the theory that, you know, with this podcast and everything, that he's kind of, you know, he's old and he sucks now pretty much. And he's kind of trying to make entertainment type plays to talk about on this podcast.
I disagree with that, because the fact that he's not good anymore, they just won a championship last year. You know, so the fact that you keep saying he's tired, he averages about 9 assists a game. He's playing with Hall of Famers, but he's a big factor in that defense. He's always had the TNT deal. And I would agree with you if right after this he jumped on the pod and started talking about it. He hasn't made another episode since this happened. So I think he's contrite.
Because he learned from last time when he did that. He like did something, went on the pod and gave his whole take, and like I think that's what I'm saying, bro.
And
like,
he's our age, bro. He's still learning.
He's
not a perfect professional that's gonna do exactly what we expect in the moment.
Some people believe that he's literally on the team to get Tex so that Clay and Steph don't have to. Like, there are people who believe that. Like, he's literally just on the team to mess shit up so they can stay clean.
What was Rodman on the Bulls team for?
And what was Rodman? Always suspended. Always getting text.
But he didn't lead them to championships, though.
But it's not because Draymond is a skilled basketball. It's because he's just being a fucking jackass.
No, though. He's part of the offense. A lot of their offense runs through him.
The first couple rings, yeah, but recently, come on, bro.
Bola, I like your analogy to Rodman, because the same thing that Jordan talked about in the documentary is like, yo, I'm mad at you when you got the technical and got kicked out in the playoff games because you let the team down. We need you. That's the whole point. Like, I'm with you, Bola. I don't give a shit about either team, but they need him, and he let them down by doing that, period.
That's fine. I agree with that. I'm not saying that he didn't, but you can't absolve Sabonis.
No,
he can't say, well, hey, you're good over here, buddy. You did something good for your team. Hooray.
He's not.
All the while putting all the blame on Draymond.
Two things.
You can't absolve the man, Dave.
He got a text, so he wasn't absolved. And 2, if Tex carried over from the regular season,
yes,
it would have earned him a suspension. So that played a factor into it too. Like, they're like, you see what I'm saying? Like, how long can you toe the line, bro, and like try to poke the league? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
That's this. Okay, we can end it on this. I think the suspension was unnecessary. I think you guys have played excellent on the point that the guy made. I just don't want it. I want it to be a fair playing ground. I don't want it to be, you guys win this series now. I won't be one of those people that say it. But some will say, well, if Draymond doesn't get suspended game 3, like what happened with the Cavs series, the Kings may have not won this. The NBA gifted them this. That's what some people will say.
But I feel like that's different. We're talking about a Kings squad that hasn't been in the playoffs since we met.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all met. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's not like that's LeBron waiting on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't have a LeBron. They barely got 8 guys. You know what I'm saying? They're just well coached. They happen to have your old assistant coach. Like, there's a lot of factors to this. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
It could have literally been Mike Brown on some bounty shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's possible.
Like, hey, you know Draymond, he itching. So go ahead and mess with him. If that's the case, then it just comes down to what I was raised to believe. And that's that a man truly only owns a couple things in this world. You'll see his word, his balls, and your composure. Like you can't let people, and I understand he in a moment, bro. I've been there. We all been there, bro. We've all got into it at the rec with somebody. Literally, all of us. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you bring that point up because this whole thing had me thinking, Dane. Back in Des Plaines, Illinois, there was a day I was playing on the park, playing with some kids younger than me, you know, and this one kid was just talking shit. He was like, "Oh man, Bowler, you got a big bottom lip." I let it slide. I didn't say nothing to it. I let it all be. The moment he said my mama did what? I slapped the shit out of him, man. And after that, I didn't hit him. I didn't punch him. I just gave him one slap. After that, every time he saw me, "Hey, Mr. Bowler, how you doing? You had a good day?" So my point is, in certain situations, even when you try to keep your composure, people push you to the limit. And we pushing this topic to the limit. I'll let you guys have the last word and we can move on.
All I'm gonna say is that a hold versus a strike is two different things. I also think that, like in the UFC, you know what I'm saying? You can't kick a dude while he's on the ground. You can punch him though. So, you know, it's just like, and then I think all the leagues are just under a different eyeglass this year because of the DeMar Hamlin situation. There's an unknown right now in sports when it comes to chest trauma. You know what I mean? Like that's a hot topic this year. So I feel like it's a mixture of all these things. I don't feel like it's just, you know, it just happened to be a situation where Draymond wanted to raise his hand and be selected. Now, if it was instigated by another person, yeah, that might be dirty. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like Sabonis is some da-da-da. But in his post-game interview, he didn't throw Draymond under the bus. He said that it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like he said it's not up to him. You know, so I think that he at least kept it professional in that regard. He could have, you know what I'm saying? He could have did the Dylan Brooks and kept some shit going. You know what I mean? But he was like, nah, we won game 2. We haven't won yet. We still got to go win. So he stayed professional in that aspect. So I just feel like, I don't know. It could have been a lot different. I do think that was maybe a little bit much, but you can't suspend somebody for 2 quarters. Like if you could suspend somebody for a first half, you know, by all means, then yeah, that probably would have been fitting, you know, sit it out to the second half. But I don't think they can do that. So that might just be what they had to do. I'm not too well versed on that NBA type stuff. David might know, but it just is what it is, baby. Light the beam. Light the beam. I just want to win.
Any last words, Dane, before we move on?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. In lights of 420, I just wanted to give a shout out to Gold Standard Farms. They did renew their subscription with us for another year. They got a sponsorship for one more year. Appreciate you, Carson. Share a little bit about their story, man. They say they define legacy as a thing handed down by a predecessor. Our story began 80 years ago when Fred and Eloise Polk founded what we now know as Gold Standard Farms, built on sweat, determination, and most importantly, honest values. The farm has remained steadfast in its mission to help advance and propel African-American dreams into reality through agriculture. Farming is in our blood. Happy 420, y'all. For more information, email Carson at goldstandardfarms.com.
Do you know if Draymond Green is going to be able to hand down his text to his kids?
You something else. You something else, man. Who do y'all think wins tonight? While we on topic?
I think that the Warriors have something to prove and just want to get Draymond back. It's a home game in San Francisco. I feel like everybody's going to be fired up. I feel like Golden State wins the game anyway, and we still have ourselves a 6-7 game series, like I said. And I was right. And I was almost exactly right on that score of the first game, too.
You were, man.
So
you should have put some money on it.
Hey, I should have. I put money on that parlay the other day.
You did?
Yeah, on those 4 games.
Okay.
You saw me post them in the chat.
Okay, I thought that was D. See, because both of your names start with a D, I always got to hover over which D said this.
With D.
It'd be like, oh, DL said this. Okay, that's Dave Lloyd.
That's because you don't want to listen. You just want to get your point out, like Draymond just barking up there.
I ain't even gonna talk about white privilege right now, but I'm gonna let you have the floor. Go ahead, brother.
Just know that my emojis are brown.
Go ahead, Danny. Who's winning tonight?
Who's winning? I think Golden State's winning.
Okay.
You know, they're going to be in privileged state, and they're going to get all the calls and shoot threes. And speaking of white privilege, play white privilege basketball and get the W. You know, that's
what's white privilege basketball? Shoot threes?
Shoot threes, get little flop technical fouls, put a bunch of frail boys on your team, and yeah, get it done.
Remind me, what team do you root for again?
You know, I'm a Chicago guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Chicago guy, and I respect Boston, but I hate them at the same time.
How you respect them? They lost to us last year.
I mean, Dane is a steadfast Chicagoan. That's why I'm always so surprised. Like, Bola, you were blessed with the greatest dynasty and the greatest player of all time, but you like the Warriors, man.
Come on, man. Y'all know this ain't new, man. I've always played with the Warriors. This ain't no bandwagon. This ain't like it since college. What team have I played with on 2K?
Look, it ain't a
before
bandwagon.
They won. Who been playing with the Warriors?
It ain't a bandwagon, but it's like a Oregon Trail wagon. Like,
I've been their fan. You know, I became a Steph Curry fan when I saw what he did with Davidson, man. When I watched that NCAA tournament and I saw him put that team on his back. I think they made it to the Elite Eight. So I got respect for him then. But even before that, I was a Golden State fan when Baron Davis and Steven Jackson was playing under Don Nelson. And they took the number 1 team. I think they were the 8th seed that year in that playoff. And they knocked them out.
You want to know why I don't like the Warriors?
Why is that?
Because that's Mark Jackson's team, bro.
I agree to some extent on that. You know, I felt like they just kind of took it from him, which is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I pray he gets another opportunity so he can show what he really can do with coaching.
Apparently it has something to do with his Sunday schedule because, you know, he's a preacher as well.
Yeah.
It has something to do with like, or at least that was one of the factors. I'm sure money was involved as well, but I know that he still wanted to be able to preach on Sundays. So that's why, or one of the biggest reasons. But, bro, that's Mark Jackson's team. They still play like Mark Jackson's team. I think Steve Kerr has less of a coaching repertoire than, like, Eric Spoelstra. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's just a player's coach.
Crazy.
Bro, he's just a player's coach. Like, I think Eric Spoelstra, and I hate Eric Spoelstra, and that's my coach. I think he doesn't make good adjustments. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I don't think Steve Kerr is.
I disagree with you, man, because the boxing one defense, the multiple rotations, all the stuff that Mike Brown is doing this season with the Kings, he got from Steve Kerr.
Well, you want to know what? You want to know why I don't like Steve Kerr? Because he said Dylan Brooks broke the code, but when they asked him about Draymond Stomp, he conveniently didn't see the play. So, Steve Kerr, you know, blue cap.
What you talking about, Dane?
I mean, you can't say it's just a coincidence that one of the best shooters is now a coach and has some of the best shooters in the NBA.
Well, it's not like he picked them.
But he coached them up.
They're doing fine. They're still playing Mark Jackson sermons in the locker room. That's why they win.
You know, there's a rumor that Mark Jackson prayed over Steph's ankles. Before Mark Jackson got there, he kept having ankle injury after ankle injury.
Bro, you remember when he crossed himself up and broke his own ankle? You remember that? That was on World Star. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, the Warriors, bro. Oh, my God.
Either way, man, they are America's underdog, man. They built themselves up from scratch.
What?
You know what I'm saying? They held it up. They were nobodies.
Oh, no.
And now look what they've done the last few years.
Oh my
Built
god!
a dynasty from scratch, man.
And
If
on
that ain't
next
an
week, and on
underdog,
next,
I don't know what is.
and on next week's episode, the NFL underdog, the Kansas City Chiefs.
So I'm gonna argue that. Y'all were terrible for years. Were you not terrible before Pat Mahomes got there?
We've had two losing seasons my entire life. No, we just always lost a big game. We've always been a great team. We've just never got over the hump.
Quarterback before Pat Mahomes. I don't even know his name. That's
Alex
how terrible
Smith,
y'all.
who had the third highest winning percentage, only behind Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Stop playing, bruh.
Did y'all do anything before Pat Mahomes?
Yeah, we did plenty. We made it to the playoffs almost every year. We just lose big games. We weren't terrible.
Keyword, you lose big games.
But you have to get to the big game. This is what I be trying to stress about people. Like, bro, you have to get.
The Warriors got to the playoffs before Steph Curry and them. They made it to the postseason before. Doesn't mean that they were something.
That's Drew's point. That's what he's saying. You didn't come from the ground up. Y'all been good and then won.
Say that again?
That was Drew's point, is that like the Chiefs, that you all had been good and then won the championships. It's not like you were the Charlotte Hornets.
Because you kept making it to the playoffs and losing to the Clippers or losing to the Mavs or losing to the Spurs or losing, you know what I mean? Y'all were winning. It's not like y'all were the Kings and missed the playoffs for 16 years. It's like you just kept losing a big game.
If you don't win it, I don't think you really did anything, but I digress.
Yeah, he said, man, we are underdog. We had to pick up Kevin Durant. We were trash.
We won before he got there. We won before he got there.
Oh, man.
So you can't say Kevin Durant made our team. We won after he left, too, last year, remember?
Yes, because we
won last year.
Lucky, bro, you were lucky enough. You were
lucky to be Boston.
How often do you have two stars get injured and then your team lose for you to be able to get good draft picks? How often does that happen? To Joe Burrow and to y'all. That's it.
Huh? What two stars?
When Clay was out. Clay was out for like almost 2 years.
Who did we get?
You got you picked up Andrew Wiggins. You got Kuminga. You got Jordan Poole, all the young guys. James Wiseman, all the
Kuminga
guys.
and Jordan Poole is the reason we won the finals last year. Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
No, last year is because you ran into a young Celtics team. that's what happened.
They weren't young, bro. They ran through the East. They were not young. They took out your team, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
They weren't young when they took out your team.
Hey, but guess what's gonna happen tonight? Don't fuck up the karma. Don't fuck up the karma.
I need to, bro.
Don't fuck up the karma.
You gotta ask yourself this question. You gotta ask yourself this question. Are the Warriors going down 0-3 to the Kings?
I don't think they are, but the way you talk, it makes me want to say it.
Oh, please do. Please do.
Look, I got to break my fast in an hour and 15 minutes.
All right, let's move on. That's all right.
I'm not finna sit up here and say some crazy shit. I don't think. I told you, 6-game series, and that means what? That the Warriors gotta win this game. I don't feel like the Kings get away with some of the physicality that they have in the first 2 games. I don't feel that Clay is gonna be as quiet, although he did hit that clutch 3 late in game 2 to keep y'all in it.
He hasn't had a strong game.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like Clay steps up. I feel like we don't get away with some of the stuff that we've been getting away with. Well, either of us have been getting away with because it's been a physical first 2 games. Oh, bro, both sides, bro. They've been playing. Bro, I texted you that. I was like, bro, they're playing physical. Like, they're actually playing. Like, they're playing. So with that being said, I don't feel like the game is as physical. I feel like it's a more finesse game in San Francisco. E40 will be hype. Shout out to Earl. I love you, Earl, but you had to get the hell out of the last game. I'm sorry. I love you. But he's going to be in, you know what I'm saying? It's just, this is y'all's game to win. Now, game 4, Draymond coming back, that'll be telling is, you know what I mean? We'll see how this game goes and a prediction for that. But game 3, y'all got to win just to make it a series, and nobody's ever come back from 3-0. So I don't want the door to be shut on this. I do want more of a series. I do want you to, I want it to hurt, Bola. I want you to be like,
bro, if we lose,
if we lose,
it's going to hurt regardless how many games. But I'm gonna give y'all props if y'all knock us out. I'm not gonna be a sore loser and be complaining about the refs and texts and fouls. If y'all win, y'all win. Shake your hand and see you next year. That's all.
I feel like this game is y'all's. I honestly feel that way.
You know.
So,
But
you guys are. I gotta nip something in the bud here.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Y'all calling y'all. So Bola, your team is the Warriors, and you get to say we for one team.
Okay.
And I just want to call. I'm following the pods. I've been off for a couple of weeks. And Drew, you can say we for one team. Okay, so actually one team.
Okay,
That's it.
like I said, the dude was blessed. The dude who was blessed to be in the greatest dynasty of all time and have the greatest player does not get to set the rules for people's fanship. I can spit it to you straight up and down.
I didn't set these rules. I didn't make these rules up.
The Kings were in Kansas City for 10 seasons and went to the playoffs.
So is that your team? I'm letting you know. I'm not even saying this is my room. I'm telling you respectfully from the fans and the world out here.
So what happened?
You had to,
So what happened when I was a kid? So when I was a kid, born in 88, when I was a kid, I had no team. So actually, I was a fan of the Pistons when I was like real young. But then there was this team that was in Miami. They also had a red and black scheme. And they had Tim Hardaway, Glenn Rice, Cy Colley, Alonzo Mourning. So I've been with the Heat almost longer just because Kansas City does not have a team. And the only reason I support the Pelicans is because I support the city of New Orleans. That's it, in the entirety. So that's where you might talk about we. Ain't nobody speaking French. I'm talking about different teams.
Well, when you say we, you're not. When you say we, you are speaking French. So that's why you can only say one. All right.
No, we're talking about the Kings and Warriors. If we want to talk about Heat Bucks, I'm gonna say. So I won't. How about this? I won't say we no more, and I'll just talk about my teams, so you can feel better.
That's fine. Whatever. I'm just letting you know it's a general, fan. When we get one we, I was just calling it,
No,
it's getting
bro,
some.
because you gotta understand, you've won enough championships to not have. You don't need to do anything else.
I'm parched right now. I'm going through my own fasting for wins.
Oh,
okay. So I wish I could say I got 3 other we's. I should have been developing them from childhood so I could make these claims that you had.
This dude said I'm fasting for wins.
I'm ready to talk about some of these next topics, because I got some more juice.
No, go ahead, bro. What you want to talk about next?
We could talk free agency, maybe.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
What's on your mind?
I want to talk about this Allen Robinson situation.
Educate me. I don't know who that is.
Allen Robinson, he used to play for Chicago, Bola.
Okay.
Actually, he started off playing for Jacksonville. He was a good player for Jacksonville. Played for Chicago, wasn't a very good player. And that maybe could have been due to quarterback play, whatever. Then he went to the Rams this last year.
Okay.
Horrible. Now he's on Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh doesn't have any wide receivers. So this is, are people going to be hanging on to him for fantasy implications? Does he still have anything left in the tank? He's pretty much like 3 years out of relevancy.
I feel like he's the only A-type receiver in that offense. You still got Washington, Deontay. You still got. Actually, I need to check. No, Deontay Johnson.
Claypool's gone, and it was
gone.
it was a 7th round pick. 7th round pick. I don't know the details of the salary, but
he'll get looks. I don't know if he'll have 1,000 yards just because of Kenny Pickett, but because I feel like Najee's gonna have a crazy year, bro.
Now we can talk about your free agent pickup.
Oh God, bro, this is like literally like, bro. Here's the thing.
Why don't you like Blaine Gabbert, man?
Well, I'll give you a couple reasons.
Please enlighten me.
1, the Jacksonville years. 2,
you could argue that was his first,
2, he won a Super Bowl against us behind Brady.
Okay.
3. He used to stay in my dorm.
So he knows a little bit about winning and knows a little bit about you.
So he has no business on my team being a fucking dickhead. Because here's the thing. I like my backups like how Baltimore has their backups. We got Lamar Jackson, and we got 2 dudes who play just like Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Blaine Gabbert ain't breaking out. He ain't doing no play action boot. He ain't doing nothing. He's not good enough from shotgun. We only need one backup. You know what I'm saying? We need a guy like Chad Henne or Ryan Fitzpatrick, like an actual journeyman. I heard we was talking about getting Chase Daniel. I'd have taken Chase Daniel over Blaine Gabbert.
I like the Blaine Gabbert pickup. I think my main reason why is I can pray for Mahomes to get hurt so I can watch Blaine play in Kansas City uniform. That's my main reason right now.
I think he'll surprise you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro. I don't want no surprises. I want him to sit down, collect the check, and shut the fuck up. I don't want to.
You gotta think about it from their standpoint. If something were to happen to Pat Mahomes,
he's literally like the last person I'd call.
Who would you call right now?
Ghostbusters before Blaine fucking Gabbert.
Who you gonna call?
Like I'm telling you. No, Colin Kaepernick ain't doing nothing. Like, Jesus, bro.
I feel you. We gonna see.
I mean, the idea is that he never goes in, but then the whole thing is if Pat gets hurt, he has to. And this is not who I want to have to go in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
We're running almost on an hour's time. Let's run through these last few topics. Nigeria versus Ghana. What did you have to say about that, Dayton?
Ghana invented jollof rice.
Oh, okay.
There's been some new evidence come out.
What's the evidence? What's the evidence?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You just said that to rob me up. It's not gonna rob me up, bro.
I mean, it was my Draymond tactics. That's what I was.
Okay, trying to employ your tactics. It didn't work. I guess I'm a professional. I know how to handle.
He said, I guess.
Real quick though, I think the Suns win tonight in LA. I like the aggressiveness of Kevin Durant lately. I like the aggressiveness of Booker. You know, so we'll see how it goes. What do y'all think is gonna happen with that game?
Kawhi's not playing, so I feel like the Suns will win.
Oh, he's not playing?
Yeah, Kawhi's out game 3.
Damn.
The problem that the Suns have is going to be kind of not the same problem they had on the Warriors, because the Warriors had a way better team fluidity because the Suns just traded away everybody to get KD. Who's going to be the alpha in which situation? Is it going to be D-Book? Is it going to be KD? I feel like they still haven't found out who works best in which situations, when, where, how. So I feel like they're going to lose this series just because of that, because the Clippers are a complete team and probably with, in my opinion, probably the second best coach in the NBA in Tyronn Lue, and it's only because Greg Popovich is still coaching.
Well, actually, I disagree with you. Mike Brown won Coach of the Year, so.
Yeah, that's Coach of the Year because he turned the Kings around, and I appreciate that milk dud, Mike. But if you don't take out these Warriors, you still just going to be Mike, give the ball to LeBron Brown.
Damn.
So
that's how you feel about your coach, man?
Bro, I
thought we was in this together.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you right now, there are certain coaches I don't Jeff with, and Mike Brown's one of them. He's done an excellent job, and I really appreciate him for turning this around, but it's going to be on him. This is your old team. This is John Gruden versus the Raiders in the Super Bowl. Like, you should, yes. Harrison Barnes get like 15 a night, get Draymond kicked out of every game. Like, yes, all this stuff. If you ain't doing that.
Speaking of which, man, I thought Harrison Barnes would have a stronger game. I was expecting him to drop like 40.
No, that's what I'm saying. Quiet 15 a game and give everybody else the juice to play with. Just the quiet 15, because I feel like his game's coming. Harrison Barnes, a little 35 to 40 point game is coming. Save that for game 5, 6.
I hear you. We're gonna see Warriors in 6. No conversation. You
The
just
next
silent.
game, Cavs, Knicks. I feel like, bro, it's over. Cavs established dominance.
It's
The
1-1. What you talking about? It's over.
Bro, the Knicks shot they shot in that first game. Cavaliers is coming. They coming hard. They coming strong. Like they not jeffing with them boys, man. Cavaliers got a way better team.
We gonna see.
Donovan Mitchell, like
I agree with you on paper.
Evan Mobley.
You know, Donovan Mitchell has had a history of not making it out the playoffs in the first round. Just say, I'm just put it out there.
Yeah,
You know,
he does. But the
the
Knicks,
rest of that team is inexperienced too.
but the Knicks ain't been good since the start of the millennia. So
Well, they got this little short dude named, Dana appreciate this, Jalen Brunson, making waves.
he's actually a Brooklyn supporter. He does not support. Yeah, that's your B team. I know you got multiple teams, Dane. It's okay.
Well, actually, the team I like the most is an underdog, that has some real chances. Philly.
Yeah.
I like Philly, and I was gonna ask, like, do you think Philly has any chance coming out the East?
Yeah, they're probably the second best team.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I think Boston has
Milwaukee.
their number though, man. That's just my opinion.
I'd say Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, easily the 3 best teams in the East. So
No Miami Heat.
bro, we've had a very off year. Tyler Hero just brought his hand.
We. What happened? I thought we had
Well, the French, just like your chin, is ass. So,
On that note, we go at the pod right there, man. Oh, y'all something else, man.
And you can get it anywhere, anywhere. Them boys got hurt. Them boys got
shout out to the ball you used to wear in 08.
Hey.
Shout out to Young Jock, wherever you might be.
Bring it back. You was short anyway, so bring a stack. That shit was fun. I wouldn't